Welcome back. We have a Positively Portland collab here on this Thirsty Thursday. Neighbors Duality Brewing and restaurant Astral teaming up to shine a light on a nonprofit which is teaching our community how to grow your own healthy food.
Yeah, growing gardens, planting a new edible garden at Duality Brewing in the Kearns neighborhood. Now both the brewery and Astral are using that food in their menu. And coming up later this month, you can pair those perfect locally grown bites with the perfect beer. Joining us this morning, we have Twee Pham from Growing Gardens, Mike Lockwood with Duality Brewing, and John Boise with Astral. Good morning. Thank you all for being here.
Good morning.
Yeah, great to have you here.
I just think this is a recipe for a great collab.
Literally.
I know, right?
Pun intended.
Pun intended. So Twee, tell us a little bit about Growing Gardens for anyone who's unfamiliar and how you got involved with the organization.
So Growing Gardens is a local nonprofit. We've been around since 1996. We work to grow food and educate folks in low-income family homes, Title I schools, and correctional facilities. And so the basis of our program really is food sovereignty and education.
And as a chef yourself, how important is it for you to be able to connect with people and let them get that connection to where their food comes from?
You know, good food belongs to everybody, and as a chef, I understand that many of the barriers that comes to that is accessibility to education and fresh ingredients. And so it's so important for me to, work with Growing Gardens and, help educate folks and demonstrate to folks that everybody is empowered and has the power to do this. And so it's so great to be able to partner with, Mike at Duality and John here at Astral to show how connected our food system is.
Yeah, well, let's dive into that some. I mean, how are you both using the ingredients that have been grown with your new edible garden over at your place?
Well,
Who wants to go?
It's still growing. This is our first season, so it's yet to be seen, but we've planted a lot of tomatoes and herbs and edible flowers. And
now, was this an idea that you had as you were getting Duality Brewing started to say, I want to bring in some of these literally like farm to table, kind of vibes, or was this just a cool opportunity to present itself?
I think the space kind of presented it.
Yeah.
We've been there 2 years now, and we have a large sort of street side garden area that we started off with just some natives planted there, grasses and lavender and stuff like that. But over the last year, we kind of were like devising a plan. We planted some apple, and now, just wanted to make it sort of a space for the neighborhood to just be able to see things growing and green space to the
be in touch with their food that way. I mean, John, speak to that. Of course, you're using this as well.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of our food, that we make is kind of delved a lot into what the local farms and our purveyors provide. So it made a lot of sense to bring in a garden into the space, just because we already cook with fresh ingredients, with what's in season, and our menu changes really frequently too. So it is kind of nice to be able to see what's growing in the garden and then be able to utilize it throughout the year.
Yeah. And what's that like to be able to literally just walk steps from your pop-up out to some of this fresh food and incorporate that into your menu?
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it is kind of a dream, I think, from at least a chef's standpoint, to be able to just walk out and maybe, pick some edible flowers or some greens or some, tomatoes. It is really, really nice.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, we're celebrating this moment with a party coming up on June 20th. I'm going to call it a party. It is a party on June 25th. So what can we expect coming up Wednesday, June 25th, as we have a beer release and some food in the mix? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm blending up just a one-off keg of some very low ABV, spritzy, summery stuff, incorporating a lot of locally foraged leaves and young pine cones and all sorts of things to highlight the diversity of ingredients just available on the streets around us.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, it does.
So cool.
What do you got food-wise cooking up?
So our basis is basically based off my culture, so Mexican-American cuisine. So hopefully we'll be using some fresh heirloom masa kind of dishes, utilizing fresh ingredients and things that are growing in the garden. And I don't know, we like to really go off the cuff, so it'll be exciting to find out.
We'll do it live. I love that idea, though. That's great.
I just think that's so fun. And one of the things that's been so cool about growing gardens, Twee, is just how much you work with local chefs and brewers and all of these food and bev folks in our community to really collaborate and to show that off. What's it like to see your work embraced in this way?
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that up. You know, a part of our work also is not to make sure that we're not being extractive of our community. And so being able to partner with Duality and Astral and other local businesses to not just amplify the wonderful food system that we have locally, but also to amplify the voices of, you know, the local businesses as well, and, you know, explore partnerships that can bring so much joy and beautiful events to the community and bringing people together. I think this, you know, beer collab with Duality and this beer party, in a sense, it's not just about, hey, let's make a beer, but it's about what can we do to bring people together? And, you know, that's how Liz and Mike came to us, was like, hey, we have this garden space in front. We'd love to create something that our community can enjoy.
And it really has become a space for the whole community. We're almost out of time, so I want to make sure we get details for folks. Thank you all for being here.
Yes, love this
collab. If you want to come check out all of this farm fresh fun, pair those beers and bites and support Growing Gardens, their summer garden party and beer release Wednesday, June 25th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Duality Brewing in Northeast Portland. For more details, check